for you as an individual and for the Christian body. It is looking down on this word or this verse of the scriptures that make Christianity before now a mockery, a thing to look down and trample upon by other religions on earth. Before now, those of us that follow events understood that nobody regards Christianity because in the realm of happenings, they are nowhere to be found. These two principles, only for you to understand it, if you must make maximum spiritual progress that will translate into physical victory, you must apply them on your day-to-day life experience. Life is not what we think it to be. Life is bigger than what an average individual person think life to be. Every one of us here is a mystery. And until that mystery is unmasked, your life will not profit you. That's why the best in human evaluation does not make it a life. The most qualified in human estimation does not make it a life. The most exposed in human estimation does not make it a life. The most connected in human estimation does not make it in life. The reason why such a person that everyone around him had adjured him that he will be the most successful, but later in life does not make it, is because no one is there to unmask the mystery that surrounds that life. And because no one is there to unmask that mystery, that life remains unfulfilled before he leaves this earth. Going to church is very good and wonderful. We must go. But humanity has messed up church. Church is a spiritual ground. If well managed, as planned by God, should serve as a means to unmask the mystery that surrounds humanity. But instead, church is more carnal today, pursuing things that in the eyes of eternity will not count. They are busy pursuing those things And what they are here to do, they are not able to do them. And that's why you see people that go to church, they are more victims of life than those that serve in the shrine of their village. Today, the people that goes to church shed tears all day round more than those that serve the shrine of the village. Because the mysteries of their lives remains unmasked. And they began to wonder about not knowing where to turn to in their lives. Man, as I told you, is a bundle of mystery. Only when he is unmasked will he fulfill destiny in life. Heirs will live a miserable life and die a common death, a fool's death, like Abner of old died. Don't go to church because a popular place to go to. Go to church because the man there opened up fully to the spirit of heaven. And heaven uses him to unmask the mystery of life, so that your life will profit you, profit humanity around you, and profit God. As a result of what happened at the Garden of Eden, any believer that refused to equip himself with this twin grace, violence and force, will not only miss heaven, but will live a miserable life on this earth. Actually, the topic of today says violence, the lifestyle of all kingdom citizens. Violence, the lifestyle of all kingdom citizens that will make it. Violence, the lifestyle of all kingdom citizens that must make it. If you do not equip yourself with this twin grace, it doesn't matter how spiritual you think you are, you will die unsung. One, you will end life premature. Two, you will not fulfill your mission on earth. Any believer that refused to clothe himself with violence and force will swim in the ocean of failure all the days of his life. And anyone that come in contact with that person will also live in failure. He will wallow in poverty, rejection, and lack of all the good things of life. You are here for a purpose. And until that purpose is unmasked, your life remains unfulfilled. And take this, write it down. The day the mystery of your life is unmasked, battles you never think you will fight in life will come your way. What do I mean? Once your life is unmasked and the direction of your life is not being shown unto you, the enemies will go to work over your head. You will have so much battles to fight. And when these battles begin, a lot of people will back out. I don't understand. Since that encounter, since that deliverance, since that warfare, the way things are going, I don't think I will continue. Joseph was a darling to his siblings, elder ones. They treated him as a younger brother. They gave him all the support that elders will give to their younger one. They gave him all the love. They protected him. You never had any conflict between Joseph and his siblings. There was cordial relationship in the home. They loved him. He loved them. They flowed together. When you enter that home, you will not discover that they had different mother. But the day the mystery that surrounds Joseph's life was unmasked, and the direction of his life was, discovered, the battle of that young man's life became so tougher that if not that he made up his mind, he may kill himself. What is this? Think about a younger boy, 10 elder people, sons in the home, became hostile against him. How will he survive such situation? And that is what many people do not discover. Everything was going smoothly with them. Everyone loves them. Life was favorable unto them. As soon as this particular warfare is fought over their lives, and some hidden things were exposed, their life is as if, why did I even make this mistake to go for this prayer? The enemies will pull you out because they are angry. If this guy is allowed to discover himself, their mission on earth will not be fulfilled. You thought that the enemies of humanity was happy for Joseph to become a tool in the hand of God to save the entire earth at that time from 7 days of destruction, famine. The reason they call that war against you today, after the mystery of your life is uncovered, they see what you will profit humanity. And you understand, they are anti-good. Anything good, anything that will affect life positively, they will do everything to stop that. So the reason of the war they wage against you, as soon as your life is opened up, is because of where you're going to, and what heaven will use you to accomplish. Sometimes I hear it. People say, since after that prayer, I don't understand what is happening to their lives. The battle become tough. The tougher the battle, the greater the seat that you're going to occupy tomorrow. And only scanty few have the patience to go through that battle. Joseph went through that journey for 13 years. Continuously, there was no day that Joseph woke up and slept with peace all through. The situation landed him into the prison, the last test, the last battle to fight. The reason of this battle is that the person will become angry with God and to say something against this God. And the moment that thing is being spoken in the secret corner of your life, that's all that they needed. The battle will cease. God will reject the person. It might take him another 1,000 years to look for another man to use. The destruction humanity will suffer for this past 1,000 years, that Joseph will pay for it in eternity. About David. David lives a peaceful life. A life, in fact, he was not known. He wake up in the morning, he eat his breakfast, carry his father's animal to the jungle. While going to the jungle, he go with the food he's going to eat in the afternoon. And when he gets there, he have access to the precious fruits that jungle produce. When he is going to the jungle, he never trekked with his legs. He climbed one animal. When he is coming back, he never trekked with his feet. He climbed one animal until Samuel find his trouble. Let me use that language. Samuel, and when he went to his home, David was not around. Make una no disturb me. Make una carry una prophecy and una oil. Stay away from me. Still, troublesome Samuel will not let go. Look at the language he used. We will not sit down until he comes. And it was so. As soon as David came back, oil was poured upon him. From that day until the next 13 years, it was hostility upon hostility. Battle upon battle. He always near death in each of the battle. Miraculously, God will deliver him. He lost his home. Lost his father and mother. Not death, or not to death. Lost the fellowship of the home with his siblings. In fact, these 13 years, his siblings were not mentioned anywhere. The father, the mother, he took them on exile. He ended up inside the cave Adullam. Why so? Why so? What if Samuel didn't find his trouble and allowed him in the bush with his cattle and all the animals was reeling? You will not know David. I will not know David. You will have no reason to be connected with Jesus. Joseph, the husband to Mary, his name is nowhere to be found in the scripture. When you want to connect the physical father of Jesus to a man, you only always hear the son of David, the son of David. And look at the gap, the time that David lived and the time that Jesus lived. But because that young man patiently went through the difficulties that followed after the mystery of his life was unmasked. Before your own is unmasked, maybe you have access to even eat. And now it's unmasked. To eat become difficult. To eat food that even enemies of God eat, have access to. Ants on the that crawl on the floor eat. Animals in the jungle have access to eat. Birds that fly on the air. But because the mystery of your life is now unmasked, to eat becomes extremely difficult with you. Some people, as soon as it's unmasked, they will lose their home. They will not have a shelter over their head. People closer to them, we see them as the most foolish people. It's not since you started going that church, your life become like this. Why don't you come back and go back to where you came from? But Joseph never returned back to where he came from. David didn't return back to where he came from. In fact, Joseph had a softer landing. Had Joseph succumbed to Potiphar's wife's appeal, he will have enough to eat in that home. He will be the next Oga. He only lose the position of Ogaship in the home in the evening when Potiphar comes home. He will eat on the dining table of Potiphar. He will eat whatsoever he wishes to eat every day. But I will not know him. You will not know him. And the man chose the longer route into his destiny than shorter route cuts that will slaughter him and wipe his name out from the archive of eternity. This is for somebody that is thinking otherwise. The only language the enemy of humanity understands very well is violence and force. And it is only those who apply this twin hidden grace, which was later revealed by the master, that will make it in life. Wigglesworth learned this verse of the scripture practically. He wasn't well educated, and to read was so difficult for him before his wife started teaching him some, English, and some, started teaching him to brush him so that he will be able to speak in the public. Because he wasn't able to read and there was nobody to explain it for him, heaven decided to use a practical means to explain this. It was somewhere, and a dog, someone left his house, a woman, and the dog followed the woman. The woman was going, and the dog was wangling the tail, following the woman, the way they normally behave to their owners. And the woman looked back and just petted him and said, "Go back." And the woman continued. And after a long while, he looked back and he still saw the dog wangling the tail. He said, "Go back." When he said go back, the dog will turn as if it was going back. But still, as the woman faced her front, continuing the journey, the dog will continue following the woman. And now the boss, the woman was to enter, was approaching. And he looked back and saw that dog coming again. The woman stamped his foot on the ground, shouted on that dog, and said, "Go back." And the dog turned like that, tuck his tail in. Once dog tuck his tail in, it tells you the coast is no longer clear. And the dog zoom off. This one says, "I catch it." This is the only means to deal with the devil, applying violence. I catch it. That's why if you follow the ministry of Wigglesworth, it was violence all through, to the point of carrying out healing on people's life. If Wigglesworth is to conduct healing on you, and you carry something like tumor, a swollen part on your body, and Wigglesworth comes there, you come for healing. As soon as he comes there, he will punch it, and people will hear sound. But the grace of the healing anointing upon him, in the life of the person he punched, we feel that the man just robbed him. To the extent there was a time authorities almost arrested him, because it attracted journalists and they started reporting it. The authorities show forth in one of the meetings without him knowing they were there. And as soon as he hit the man, they show forth. And it became a trouble. And then the only person that would determine whether to arrest him or not was the person he punched. And they called the man and asked him, and say, "No, why are you disturbing a man that decided to heal me? He just touched me. In fact, I've not seen such a soft touch in my life. Why are you disturbing him?" The authorities became ashamed. And they left him. And from that point until he left this earth, I think in 1948 or thereabout, nobody disturbs him. From that moment he learned this violence practical, he applied it. That's why they call him father of modern Pentecost. This is only language that will help you. The beast that overthrew man at the Garden of Eden turned the earth into a jungle. And only those who clothe themselves with this grace will make it. The grace I talk about is violence. Please have emphasize on this. I am not talking about physical violence or force. That is not for believers. Believers does not destroy physical. Please let it be noted. I am not advocating physical violence. No. The violence we are talking about in this verse of the scripture, Matthew 11, verse 12, is not physical but spiritual. Let no one misquote me out there. We are talking about spiritual violence. If you read that place very well, and from the days of John the Baptist until now, the kingdom of heaven suffereth violence, and the violent take it by force. By mentioning the kingdom of heaven there, already you know he is talking about spiritual terms. Let it be there for a record purpose. We are not talking about advocating physical violence, but spiritual. Because we are already being told from Ephesians chapter 6 that we wrestle not against flesh and blood. Our fight is not with a physical human being. That's not our fight. We don't come on this road and jack somebody on the neck and no. If you do that, you destroy your life. In fact, that is for children. The real battles in life takes place in the realm of the spirit. Man is a spirit being. If you want to conquer man, take the man in the realm of the spirit. This thing that you see physical man is nothing. People that fight physical enter too much trouble. You may see somebody that witches and wizards have killed and eaten his meat long ago, and you just pass by, carry your hand to slap. You have not even slapped physically. Breeze just passed. The person fall down and die. And people that were clapping for you and say, "Hey, champion," they are the one that will say, "Carry, you don't kill him." I hope I'm cleared. We're not talking about physical violence, so that somebody will not live here and grab their wife or grab their husband, start beating them, or grab their children and says, "The prophet told us it's violence, and this marriage have been quiet. I must take it by force." No. Where you will the source of the problems you go through in your marriage, however you see it, is not physical, it is spiritual. And if you want to solve it, you go back in the realm of the spirit. Once you solve it in the realm of the spirit, one breeze will blow on the physical earth, and it will see it. You begin to enjoy your marriage. So, in the jungle, no one pities anyone. Sometimes people are looking for who will pity them in life. You waste your time. Those you think are pitying you are mocking you. They are mocking you. Nobody have enough time on this earth to pity you. Do you know that the person that you think is pitying you carry too much trouble than you do? Carry too much trouble than you do. Forget about this in new clothes and car, vehicles and buildings that cover up so many things. Travel into person's house in the realm of the spirit. You will pity people that wear good clothes and drive on a big cars. What they go through. Those things you see them putting on makeup and make down and all these things is to cover things that they do not want ordinary eyes to see. So stop sitting on a particular corner in the society waiting for those that will pity you. In the jungle, no animal pity each other. If you are there to pity you, they will use you for breakfast. In the jungle, you must take it by force, else your life will be cut short. That's why if you look at the jungle life, everyone is on the go. Every animal is on the go. They don't stop by anyhow. Before an animal will stop at a particular portion in the jungle, he will want to know the governor of that particular area of the jungle. They don't stop by anyhow. It is in this life we stop at anyhow bus stop. Not all the bus stop you need to stop. As if you want to get to where you are going, there are bus stops that if you ever stop there, it takes God's divine intervention for you to make it again. For you to make it again. Think about a married man, a married woman that carelessly stopped at the bus stop of another woman or another man and sleep with them. For them to ever make it in life, it takes divine intervention. Right there, or sleeping with that man or that woman, they bury their destiny. And you see them crying and weeping. Leaders in the church are not your problem. Look behind you. What did you do some years ago? It's your problem. That's why you had a message last Sunday that talked about restitution. You can start to reactivate yourself by going to your wife, by going to your husband, and says, forgive my foolishness. At that particular period of life, Johnny, this is where I stopped, and this is what I did. Else, you will keep wondering about in life. You will keep wondering about in life. In the jungle, if you refused to clothe yourself with the acceptable garment, then you will lose out. You will lose out. This garment, violence and force. I told us here some time ago that lion is not the strongest animal in the jungle. But because of force and violence that lion apply, he make himself king of the jungle. The kindred where you came out from is a jungle. Why is it a jungle? They know the limit you will go. They know how the history of your lineage, from the foundation of your lineage to yourself. They know what killed your father. They know what killed your... You may not understand that there are people in your kindred that have the diary of all the happenings in that kindred, that master the terrain of the spiritual realm of your kindred. You will learn now. This life. There are people in your kindred that give people, what do they call it? Passbook. Those they love, they want, they give them passbook to pass a particular door. Those they refused, they say no. Do anything. Do anything. That's why sometimes you see them, they will see you, they will laugh. I've told you a story some time ago here. And this story will suit this business. No, this business we are doing. Game. There is a particular young man, very successful in the town where he was. But mysteries keep repeating itself over his life. Anytime he traveled to his village with car, he will not return back with that car. He will narrowly escape being killed. It happened. And this particular period, he traveled. bought a car, but got into a particular place, town before his town, not even village. He parked the car somewhere, cover it with his car cover, and use other means to get to his village. And as he got to the village, the man in charge of the spiritual terrain of his village saw him and said, "My pikin, you come back." He said, "Yes, Papa, I come back." This why they walk out with your leg. You don't come with a vehicle. He said, "Papa, this last time the vehicle I came with, the last one had accident. Money no day to buy another one." The man laughed. He said, "My pikin." He said, "You don't get another vehicle." He said, "Yes." He said, "Come." The man lifted up the walking stick. Sometimes you think that thing they carry is walking stick. Let issue happen, they will run past you. Nothing is worrying. Forget about this thing they're doing. It's to deceive the naives. Let issue happen, they will outrun you. The man lifted the staff and said, "My pikin, look." As he looked through this thing, he saw that is a telescope, a see-through. He saw where he parked his vehicle. The guy became weak. He said, "We know." He said, "We know." These are men that mark the register of your kindred. Every kindred have at least one. At least one. In my kindred, there is one. There was a year we fought. Those of you that were here before the burial of my father, his name came up often and on. Any of the battle we fought before that burial, and after we came back from the burial, we fought. If you go, they have large compound. One of the men there today, any day I remember him, I feel bad. While we were growing up, everybody thought that this is the brightest star that will shine around everyone. But where do they throw him to? He now go what he does to survive. Think either on the shore, somewhere. Is to go to bush, gather leaf, cook it, and be giving people to drink. Brightest guy. Now while he was in school, is a man everybody looks upon. And all the youths in that family, this young man, put every one of them, he is the one that determines the seat you will sit upon. None is making it. None is making it. He knows that I know him, whom he is. He knows. You know. Life is not what you think it to be. The year I confront him one-on-one, he came to appreciate me. That he has gotten a man that can challenge him in this kindred. This is a man that when he cough, elders will start running away. A man that started life as a teacher, ended as a teacher, they paid him his gratuity and everything. There is no one flower he bought with it. All that he did was to use it for juju and herbalist. Killed his own brother, took over the house, 6 rooms that young man built. His own brother, there were only 2 men